Hey everyone. So I don't think this is something that's getting fed back enough, and I really do think that as a community, everybody needs to kind of get this message across to AGS and to NCSoft. Since daylight saving time hit Europe, a lot of people have been timed out of guild PvP. So with Riftstones and Boonstones being moved to 6 p.m., that's 5 p.m. in the UK and I think anywhere west of France, and then 6 p.m. for the rest of mainland Europe countries. Essentially, anybody that works your normal kind of 9 to 5 job is really struggling to be able to deal with these times. Now, before the changes for daylight saving, it was rough enough trying to be able to make guild PvP. And this is the most organized and structured PvP in the game. So, where guilds aren't able to have their full rosters, it's really making it difficult to enjoy that content. And essentially, by making the times as early as they did before launch, we already knew it was going to cause problems. But then to have it retract the move an hour earlier because of DST and not be able to just implement a change quickly to get that fixed, we're seeing people leaving the game. We're seeing guilds quitting the game or fold because they're just not able to pull the same numbers. As it stands at the moment, if you can't make those PvP events, all you can do are world bosses or arena or the events like Dominion throughout the day. It just doesn't bring a guild together. We really need to be getting this fed back. Now, on top of that, they've just put out the announcement the other day that Conquest and the first sieges are going to be happening. Now, I know that a lot of people share the same opinion as me about this, that having siege in the middle of the afternoon on a Sunday, although technically, yes, it's going to be one of the easier days for people to attend, you're having to schedule your day around it. If you have a family or if you're one of the many, many people that work weekends, you're still going to really struggle with this. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm really interested to see what people's opinions are with regards to this. But I wanted to highlight the fact that they already have a system in place that would completely fix all of these problems. And that is the system that they have in place for the tax delivery. So if we look at the tax delivery event, what you'll see is that reigning guilds can schedule the tax delivery between 2 p.m. and 1 a.m. local server time. So the system is already in place that allows a defending guild the ability to set the time for that PvP to happen. Now, what I'd be proposing is that this system is implemented for Conquest, so for the sieges, which is presented as the pinnacle of TL's PvP content. It is the biggest PvP event that any server will undertake. So why are we having to structure our days and our weekends around this arbitrary 4 p.m. server time that's going to be incredibly difficult for large chunks of people to make when there is this system already in place? So what I'd like to see, and I hope that people can jump on the bandwagon with this one and get it fed back as well. I've been doing it every day consistently on the feedback in Discord, and there's also an option in game to fill out a survey where there is a section that relates to this. But I'd like to see them implement this to Riftstones and Boonstones, to Conquest PvP, as well as tax delivery. What they should be able to do is set a time from the current time up until say 11 p.m. local server time or 12 p.m. local server time, where the defender can set the time for their Boonstone or their Riftstone. What this will allow people to do is communicate with guilds on the server, with alliances on the server, and structure PvP at times that fit them. I get the idea that it will allow some guilds to dodge other guilds if they can attend earlier times that others can't, but I think that the vast majority of the player base would really benefit from just utilizing this system for the rest of the guild versus guild PvP. Otherwise, if AGS continue to not take any action on this, we're going to see players give up on the game completely and leave. And we already know from past MMO experiences that retaining players is half the battle. Once the hype's there for a game, you can always drag players in. But as soon as that dies off, people start to get bored, people start to lose interest. You really struggle to drag these players back. And just presenting new updates like Conquest, although it may grab people's attention, I don't feel that a Conquest at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday is going to pull back anywhere near as many numbers as it could do with it being in a prime time slot. For some reason, AGS has decided to amend the times from Korea that now fall prior to prime time game time for Europe, and I assume for NA as well. And what this is essentially doing is stopping the best of this game from happening. It's stopping the PvP from really, really showing itself. And all we've got at the moment is Zerg versus Zergs on world bosses, and there is nothing else to show for it. And what's going to happen is that your more casual or your less hardcore guilds, where you've got people with families, you've got people with jobs, that just can't make these times, they're not going to be able to show for Conquest either. And if they can't show for Conquest, the guilds are going to start to fall apart, the Zergs are going to continue to dominate, and the only areas where we can have PvP that is close or very close to being matched in terms of numbers are these Riftstones and Boonstones. Anyway, it's a little bit of a rant video, but I did want to get it out there. I don't think that anybody is talking about this enough. Please, please, please go to the Discord, share your opinion on the official Discord. Make sure that AGS really give us an answer to this and don't just brush it under the rug and ignore it. I don't think that leaving it this long as it is without amending the times at least back to where they were is the right thing to do for the player base. But I think that we've really missed the mark in terms of setting the original times for PvP. It just doesn't fit for a lot of the community, and I think that they really, really, really need to look at amending this sooner rather than later. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. As always, I'll catch you in the next one.